My name is Anne Galli. I'm with INSERM, with the Accelerator of Technological Research. Very pleased to be part of this executive committee of the DIM BioConvS Santé. I'm very, very pleased to chair this session called The Challenges of Innovation and Having a Socioeconomic Impact. And very glad to introduce our first speaker, Lyse Santoro, who's in fact our Executive Director of the CSIS, the Conseil Stratégique des Industries de Santé. And without further ado, I will let her introduce herself for this first presentation.
It's okay. Dear all, I'm really delighted to be here with you today for the Innovation Days. And thank you for the organizer for inviting me. So they asked me to present myself as a start and to present my professional experience. So sorry for that, because I'm a little confused for that, because as you can imagine, this is not my favorite item. But my name is Lyse Santoro, and I've been working in the healthcare sector for more than 25 years by being highly committed to the innovation in healthcare. Before sharing with you my experience and my convictions, I would like to express the 3 sentences expressions which summarize the driven forces which I followed all along my path. The first one is l'homme n'a peur que de l'inconnu, puis lorsque l'inconnu est là, il fait face. Meaning in English, man is always afraid from the unknown, but when the unknown is there, is facing the situation. The second one is a sentence from Paul Éluard. Dans la vie, il n'y a pas de hasard, il n'y a que des rendez-vous. Meaning in English, in life there is no hazard, there are only appointments. And the third one, les grands défis ne se relèvent jamais seuls. Meaning in English, big challenges can't be reached alone. These 3 main ideas have guided my steps these last years, as they have guided your steps probably. I was confronted to the unknown, which allowed me to innovate and to make things in a different way, in my way. I reached objectives and realizations since I met great people who gave me the desire to surpass myself and to make things. And of course, I didn't do nothing alone. The teamwork has always been central, allowing to reach great objectives together. And this is what innovation is about, I think. Facing the unknown, teamwork, and challenges. So, first of all, I am a scientist. I have a scientific background, being graduated from École Normale Supérieure, an aggregation in biology, a PhD in basic immunology, and a business training at INSEAD. I was programmed to become a researcher and a teacher. But even if I spent wonderful years at the bench during my thesis, I wanted to see what happens in the industry and to open the door of a company in order to work in applied research for patients. I didn't know nothing about industry. It was the unknown, but I wanted to learn and I was curious. And a lot of people discouraged me to do this, in fact, but I didn't hear them. So you have not to hear what people say you. Then I spent around 15 years in the industry. Half time in the diagnosis industry at bioMérieux and half time in the pharmaceutical industry at Ipsen. I had different operational and strategic positions, And during the last years, I was vice president in charge of a worldwide business unit. During this period, I also learned a lot with the different expertise in the company, and what a satisfaction when you contribute with teams to launch a product on the market which treats patients and which you can see in pharmacies. After 15 years in the industry, I wanted to be more active in the innovation field. That's why I decided to go actively in the entrepreneurial field. And I was CEO of biotech and medtech company for more than 10 years. In parallel, 20 years ago, I had a phone call one day. I was asked to join the French Minister of Research as the personal advisor of the French Minister, Mrs. Claudie Aigneret. So I was a personal advisor in charge of innovation 20 years ago. At that time, you know, innovation was a very early emerging notion. We didn't know nothing, I didn't know nothing, in fact, about the governmental way of working and I'm still not a politician. But I knew the reality of research in the public domain and the industry. And at the beginning, it was difficult because I didn't know the rules. But thanks to a wonderful teamwork, we reached significant achievements with the launch of the Plan Innovation under the government of Jean-Pierre Raffarin and Jacques Chirac. In 2021, so 20 years after the innovation plan, I received another phone call from the government which asked me to be a qualified person for the CSIS, Scientific Council for the healthcare industry. So as you can understand, it was not possible for me to decline, even if it was a big, very big challenge after the COVID period. So I've worked during several months with other 4 qualified persons. We consulted every actors of the healthcare industry, including the Paris Île-de-France, including researchers, physicians, and hospitals, industrials, INDIAC, pharma, digital fields, public institutions and actors at the French and international level, such as La Région, as well as the cluster of Boston. Finally, we proposed an innovation plan for healthcare, and perhaps you know it. And the President of the French Republic, Emmanuel Macron, announced it with a budget of more than 7 billion euros in order that France will recover its leadership in healthcare in Europe. So you can find the plan on internet. So then, today, France is an attractive country for innovation in healthcare. As you know, France has a strong foundation with an international recognized research excellence, with an on-top medicine, big hospitals, with big industry present in all the world, and with the French government being highly committed in the field. In addition, from this solid circle, the 2 plans have a huge impact on this attractiveness. Amongst the innovation plan launched 20 years ago, a few decisive actions have been set up to boost the innovation in healthcare in France. You know them. Le crédit d'impôt recherche, le statut de la jeune entreprise innovante, which allow a highly competitive fiscal environment for the companies who invested in research and innovation. The creation of the competitive biocluster, for example, Médicène in Paris Île-de-France, the statute of the ANR, Agence Nationale de la Recherche, etc. These measures are well recognized till today, even at the international level, and they contribute to the attractiveness of France for innovation in healthcare. Then, in the innovation plan for healthcare, the current one, proposed by the CSIS and launched by Emmanuel Macron in 2021, measures are also decisive to contribute to this attractiveness. This plan is organized in 6 axes with 6 sub-objectives. The first one is to reinforce the biomedical research with 1 billion euro and to set up a very few number of bioclusters with a high ambition. And we recommend to have only 1 or 2 in France to favor an international visibility. The second axis is to reinforce innovation in the 3 priorities fields with more than 2 billion euros. Biotherapy and bioproduction, number 1. Number 2, digital health. And number 3, infectious diseases. The third axis is to invest in clinical trials in order to become a leader in Europe in that field. The fourth axis is to set up an economic context to privilege the sanitary and industrial sovereignty in France. And then the plan deals with to support the industrialization of the healthcare product, the growth of the biotech, medtech companies. This is really an item today. And the growth of financial funds, which are becoming the biggest one in Europe. And finally, one axis of the plan is to create an agency, Agence pour l'innovation en santé, with the goal to implement the plan and directly reporting to the President of the French Republic, the Prime Minister, and working with the 3 ministers of research, industry, and health. And this is the first time that we have this transverse work. So this plan is very ambitious and has been very well accepted by all the actors. And it means that a dynamic is here. The plan is under implementation right now. And I really guess that this is a chance for our country. And countries in the world are aware that something happens in France in innovation in healthcare. This is really a positive signal. So in that context, France is becoming a high attractive country for innovation in healthcare. The Région Paris-Île-de-France is part of this plan and is part of this ambition. The region is already active in this field. It was selected to set up an international biocluster with a significant financial support. The objective is to become a biocluster such as Boston, regrouping all the actors of innovations working together in the same place. So the region will become one of the places to be in France, and we hope in the world, to innovate, to make basic and clinical research, to work in industry, to be an entrepreneur, to invest for VC funds. And I guess you are lucky to be here and to benefit of this dynamic environment. Again, our goal is that France, with the Région Paris-Île-de-France, will become a leader in Europe in healthcare innovation with an international visibility, and this is key, and a competitive position in the world. So if I may, now let's take a few minutes to share with you major convictions regarding innovation in healthcare. First, I am convinced, as you are, that the future of medicine is built today. Building the future of medicine deals with the development of new drugs, vaccines, for example, but also with the reparation of the human body. It deals with the prevention and the prediction of the pathologies, and with the adaptation of the right treatment for the right patient. But it also deals with the way to do things, with the setup of new patient management pathways. It deals with the anticipation of the healthcare system of tomorrow. Faced to a worldwide population which is growing, this is a healthcare challenge, a human challenge, as well as a humanity challenge. And I am convinced that France will which benefit of research of excellence, recognized entrepreneurs and companies in the world, should be at the core of this revolution. We have our place, a major role to play to reach this human challenge. But this is now that we must act, without losing our time and our energy. My second conviction is that the big challenges are never reached alone. The complementarity of each other is crucial and key. Innovation appears at the interface of disciplines and sectors. I have noticed this all along my career. I have seen the commitment of each one. Whatever your environment, whatever your professional language, whatever your constraints, we all wake up the morning with motivation to realize one mission, to reach an objective. The same objective for healthcare and for patient care. I'm convinced of the value of working together with the same objective, everyone to his place. Research in biology, mathematics, physics, physicians, professors, industrials, entrepreneurs, public leaders in big and small companies, pharma, diag, medtech, biotech, digital fields. Working together means to break down walls between all the actors of innovation and healthcare. I am convinced that this is possible, and I think I have demonstrated that all along my professional experience. And from my side, be sure that I will continue to break down the walls to bring out innovation at the interface of discipline and environment. And finally, my third conviction is that this is the economy of the knowledge, which will allow France to keep its privileged place in the world and to shine internationally. For that, the economy of knowledge is taking its root in the fertile ground of innovation. This is the economy of knowledge which will reindustrialize our country, create jobs, prepare the industrial revolutions of tomorrow, which allow an attractive and competitive France by attracting and retaining the talents, you, and which favor the independence of our country being in parallel anchored in Europe. And finally, this is the economy of knowledge which allow a leadership for France, being force of proposal and leading the way in the world. So this is for this objective that we have to be mobilized every day. I am. So let's be mobilized and committed for these objectives all together. Each of us contribute every day, so you contribute every day to this great challenge. Be part of the innovation of healthcare, be part of the economy of knowledge, and don't forget, the big challenges can't be faced alone. So thank you for the attention, and sorry to take time to present myself during a few minutes.